Okay, so we're now just moving into the last part of this little demo house. Hopefully you've been following along. You'll be able to add some walls, some doors, some windows. This is the house that I've just tidied it up from my last tutorial. Just added some more windows, high-level windows, just clean everything up a little bit. Now, what I want to do is create a sheet and some 3D views. So I'm going to go to my ground floor and just zoom out a little bit. What you'll see from the default view template is these little elevation markers here. When I go and select on them, you can grab them and move them around. Here they have a little arrow, and this is actually the viewing part that it's looking at in the model, so you can move this around. And what I'm going to do is set this up so we can create some elevational views, and from there put them onto our sheets, and then add some scales, and then add a nice 3D view. So we won't do them all. We'll just do one sheet, and we'll throw on an elevation, a section, a plan, and a 3D view. So here we have our model on our project browser. If you navigate down to Sheets, you'll see Sheets All. There is one by default that's available in the project. If you need to create one, you can create your own sheet templates and stuff. You can go New Sheet, and you can choose the AO metric, and that will load it in. So one of the ones I've already got. By default, this one is got some attributes here, which you can go in and edit. So sheet number, 101, sheet number GA 100 or something like that. And you can add all the typical attributes that you'd have in a sheet, and you've got your revisions and everything here and your different consultants. Now, what I want to do is start to bring in some of our elevational views, our plan views, and a 3D view. So what I'm going to do here, this is my ground floor. I'm going to tidy it up a little bit. I want my sections to kind of look a little bit nicer. So I'm just going to drag that out to here, drag that out to there. Just align these markers up a little bit. Now you don't have to be millimeter accurate with this. I mean, they're just a view that you're going to be referencing. So I know a lot of people like to have their 2D graphics looking a certain way, but at the end of the day, it doesn't improve the design of the building. That's just my humble opinion about it. So here's our floor plan. There are things you can add here to annotate it. There's a simple text tool. You can start to add all the room name in here, and you can adjust the scale. This is very intuitive. I won't go through this today. I just want to do a basic layout. So here's my floor plan. I'm going to get that ground floor and I'll bring it to my sheet. So I'm just going to close out the other one. Here's my GA 100, and I'm going to go and drag that in. Now you can do this in other ways. You can go to where is it? There's a tool to allow you to bring in numerous sheets into this space. I'll touch on that later. What I want to do here, just by default, it's brought it in as a ground floor plan. It's at 1 to 100. This is how it would sit on an A1 sheet. You can see there's a title block here. You can add title block with line or no line. I like to have no line, and then I can just grab this and move it around as needed. So here's our floor plan. I'll go to one of our elevation views. So just back here in the floor plan view, I would like to do the courtyard view looking in, and I'll go to that elevation view by right clicking. Now I want to make this look a little bit nicer. I don't want to see that section marker in here. I can just go and hide it in view, but there are other ways to control it with view templates. I'll just hide it. I'll hide it as a category, and they'll just take it out of the view. I want to tidy up my elevation markers here. I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to put on fine level detail. I'm going to move this to a 1 to 50 for an elevation. And again, like in previous tutorials, you can start to move these around so it's a bit clearer depending on how you want it to look and feel. So I'll bring that back to here. And you can change all the colors of these as well. There's tools that you can adjust within the manage settings under object line types, styles here. But we're just going to do this very basic. Here's my view. Now this one, I want it to look a little bit nicer, so I'm going to turn on the shadows. That will start to see some shadow casting. If you want to control a lot of this, you can turn or adjust this in your sun path. You can set it up to a particular location where you're at, single day, multi-day, or just lighting. I'm just going to do the default. You can do it from top left, change the other side, and you can adjust this to make it look the way you want it to look. Now I want to make it have some more graphics in it, so I'm going to go to graphic display options. I want to put this one on realistic, and I want to make some adjustments to that realistic setting. So here is my model display. Here's my realistic. I want to have smooth lines and anti-aliasing. You might notice like little jagged edges here. Just turn that on. That should clean it up. Go apply. That cleans it up. There's also transparencies if I want to have it. Shadows. I can show ambient shadows. So you can start to see just a little more of that gradient sort of feel. Just turn that off so you can sort of see the difference. Ambient shadows. No ambient shadows, cast shadows. If you want to use sketchy lines, you can do that as well. It will give you kind of this sketch sort of look and feel. I don't particularly like that, but that's just me. I like to sketch. And then there's also depth queuing. You can start to work with this a little bit to start to apply maybe a bit of depth to the model, so you can sort of see this is sharper at the front, this is a bit lighter at the back. We used to have to do this in Photoshop in the olden days. And you can start to maybe apply the percentage here of how it's really going to look. So maybe I'll just do it like that. Something like that. I mean, it is a graphic. It's just something that helps you with graphics. And then lighting, if you want to play around with the lighting, you can maybe drop that shadow down a little bit. It's probably about bright enough as it is. Apply. And the last thing I want to do is just add a background. You can add a gradient or a sky or an image. If we just do gradient, that's kind of a nice way to do it. Go apply, and here we have it. You can also save this out as a view template. This could just be elevation, and you can use this again on other views. So that's just a bit more detail on it. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to go OK. And here's our elevation view. That's going to go now into our sheet. Now it is showing a lot here. When we bring it in, we can crop it, or we can even crop it here, crop view, and you need to have the crop lines visible. Then you can just bring that in as needed. So pretty simple way to get a nice little elevation graphic. And then we go back to our sheet, and that was our north elevation. So down here in the elevation views, with my sheet selected, I'm going to drag and drop in that north elevation. And because it's 150, it may come a little bit bigger. So we'll do that. Here's our north elevation. And we can, move the stuff around, turn off the no title or no line, and then, move this around as needed, and everything will snap. So it's kind of like, putting together a drawing like we did in the CAD days. A couple of things you can do here as well is to adjust this layout, just tidy up a little bit more, give us a bit more breathing space. Just move that marker a bit closer to the house. Move this one a bit closer. And of course, as you scale up onto different sheets and stuff, you can adjust these as needed. What you'll see here also is it's given us a name for that view now that the view is placed on the sheet. I'm just going to right click, go deactivate view. Now I'm going a little bit fast here. You may have to watch this a couple of times just to get a bit more familiar with it, but it's a pretty easy, intuitive way to get working. I'm just sort of setting up the sheet so I have enough space for everything, and I'm just going to tab. Oops, just going to tab this thing across a little bit because I want to have a nice sort of 3D view somewhere here on the sheet. Other things you can do as well is I can bring in a section, so section 3 for example, bring that in. Now this one is set to 1 to 100. I can double click in here and actually change that to be 1 to 50 here, and even apply that view template I just created. So what's cool here is we created a view template. Here it's available. I call it elevation. Go apply. Okay, and now we have a nice little section view with that template we just created. So deactivate the view to move it around on the page, and we'll just drop it in here and have it roughly aligned. Again, I just don't want that line. Okay, so plan, elevation, section view. The last thing I'd like to do here is add a 3D view, and I'm just going to put it in here. So in your ground floor plan, the courtyard's going to be the main space here. Maybe we'll do a couple of them. We go here to the doghouse view, and we just drop down here and go camera. And I'll say I want a view looking this way into the courtyard. Just click and shoot. And here we have our courtyard view. We can bring out these little guides here to make it look kind of right. And because I've got that template, again, just for productivity, I'm just going to reuse that template. So again, all I did was go to View Template. Now, if it's not showing, I just want to show all, and I'm just going to use the elevation. Go Apply. It's kind of a nice little 3D view here. The graphics kind of look okay for a short tutorial. So that's hosting itself here under 3D Views, 3D View 1. And I want one more. Maybe I want to show the client the courtyard because that's the big selling space. And then maybe approach to the building. So here, maybe from the garden side. So we'll just do it from here. And this sort of gives us an overall idea. You can also hold down the Shift key just to fine tune it a little bit. So I can just move around. Maybe I just want to collect a little bit of that facade. I always like the lower view here. And again, I'm going to benefit from using that view template. So I just go down here, go to the view template. What I did is to bring it up, I want to bring up all. Go OK. And here we have our building. So finally, bring a couple of views I want to show the client. So here and here. And now we have some views on it. I can also, manipulate this here as well. You can go size and crop. So if we look at this, let's say we want to, have everything sort of the same size. So I'm just going to deactivate that view. This one, if I go to size and crop, it's 234 by 155. So I'll just cancel that. This one, I want it to be the same size and crop. So 234 by 151, I think it was. That will now give us roughly the same size box around it. Okay, and you can go back into the view and adjust everything, add trees, add people, cars, etc. But that, let me just go back, double click. That is the last part of it. So a quick conceptual design for a house, being able to do your walls and doors and roofs and ceilings, produce some floor plans and some 3D views. Ideally, once you get good at this, you can do it in an hour or half an hour and have a conceptual design ready to present to a client.